Why hello there my internet friends, my name is John Jags and today we are talking about some fitness things because I like the bodybuilding and the powerlifting, and I've just finished a dieting phase over the last 6 months and I have successfully lost 20 pounds, and I would like to share with you some tips and tricks that has helped with that. And with that, I would like to share with you another series of videos after the fact going into some of the details on those things that have helped me along the way. So without further ado, let's talk about some fitness things. All right, let's kick things off with a little bit about myself. I am a 29-year-old male. I weigh about 150 pounds. I just finished a deficit from 170. And over my fitness and health career, so to speak, I have lost 100 pounds. So when I was in high school, I played too much World of Warcraft, and I still enjoy video games and playing games and working on art, and most of my life is pretty sedentary like I was in high school, and I found ways to work around that. So I wanted to share some of the things that have helped me along the way with new gaining phases, new cutting phases, and just making choices that help me just be happy with my lifestyle. So let's kick things off with nutrition. I'll definitely expand on the nitty-gritty details of nutrition, but this is where 90% of your results will come from. Making good choices in the kitchen, making good choices with your food sources, and making sure that you're adhering to it over the long term. So the best things I can recommend to a good nutrition goal is finding foods that you enjoy eating, that you can adhere to for a long period of time to stay consistent. Make sure you're tracking your calories in some fashion, and make sure you're tracking your weight in some fashion and comparing those numbers so then you know you're moving in the right direction. Nutrition is a huge key when it comes to having a sedentary lifestyle. I spend a lot of my time just sitting, working on a computer, animating keyframes, and I have to be conscious with my diet so that I am adhering to the goal that I want to achieve in the future. A lot of that came down to just moving some food around so that I'm eating at specific times, so then I can maintain my hunger signals and be a normal person, not get too hangry, and just being strategic with that. I'll explain more in the nutrition section of this series, but make sure you're on top of your nutrition. That's where most of your results will come from. After nutrition is exercise, and again, I'll expand on this in the future video, but exercise is critical to having a healthy lifestyle. So what that means is either some weight training, some cardio, or some mobility work and stretching and whatnot. Now, my preferred method of training is bodybuilding and powerlifting, so you'll often find me using a barbell, doing squats, bench, deadlift, dumbbell pressing, leg pressing, and all that fun stuff. But really, exercise comes down to what do you like to do. If you hate barbells, you don't have to do a barbell. If you hate cardio, you don't have to do cardio. Now, what do these mediums do? Well, weight training is there to help build muscle, get stronger, and improve performance. Cardio is there for performance if you enjoy that medium as a sport. I actually don't, so I'll generally do walking. So cardio to me is actually there as a calorie deficit creator. I'll do more cardio if I need to increase my calorie deficit, or less cardio if I need to gain weight, so to speak. Weight training is there for me to help build muscle and whatnot, and then I do mobility work and stretching and foam rolling and whatever all that stuff is to make sure I am on top of my recovery and making sure I'm engaging in good movement patterns. When it comes to being a sedentary artist, most of the time I make sure I train 5 times per week, but even 1 day a week is perfectly fine. Just find a system and a routine that works for you, and once you have that, just stick to it, and over a 2-month period you'll start seeing results and it'll just compound on itself. The next big section that I will go into great detail on in the longer portion of this is substitutions. This is why I wanted to make this video. It's because throughout this dieting phase, I really learned a lot on how to create good substitutes for my habits and behaviors so that it didn't impact my life dramatically. So substitutions meant looking at restaurants and finding foods on the menu that would feel like my regular order, but still be less calories, or choosing snacks that were significantly less calories while making me feel like I'm snacking, or moving around food strategically so then I can make sure I'm training for performance and eating for performance whilst also maintaining my hunger signal, so I'm not getting too frustrated with myself and hangry, so to speak, when the dieting might get challenging. So the biggest things when it comes to substitutions is finding ways to modify your habits and behaviors, which I'll go into greater detail in the longer video. But that has really helped me over this dieting phase because I've learned a lot and my lifestyle wasn't changed all that much. Was still able to go on vacations, was still able to do a lot of fun things with my girlfriend, was still able to go to our favorite restaurant regularly, almost every week, without dramatically changing our lifestyle. So substitutes, that's a big thing that I highly recommend. And yeah, stay tuned for that video. The next section here that I'll expand on in the future is coaching and accountability. Having some sort of system to help you stay accountable is incredibly important. Now, I actually have a bodybuilding coach. His name is Alberto Nunez from 3D Muscle Journey. They are an incredible bodybuilding coaching service, and they help me adhere to my nutrition and training goals. And he helps me by me sending him check-ins via videos, and then I will send in those check-ins video of my face talking about what's going on in the week and my training, and then I will send him a spreadsheet of my nutrition and my body weights that I am tracking. Now, on top of having some sort of coach or something, you don't necessarily need that. I just like to have it around. You should have some sort of metric to measure as you're going through the health and fitness process if you're trying to adhere to some very specific goal. So I wanted to get down to 150. So I was tracking my food using the Fit Genie app. You could also use MyFitnessPal. I prefer Fit Genie just because it's supported by some people who've developed it and that I respect and enjoy. And I use Microsoft Excel to track my weight and my training. There's tons of apps out there. You could use Juggernaut AI. You could use other fitness apps that help you exercise and do the things, but I highly recommend using some sort of system to measure your progress over time. And then the last part, as far as coaching and accountability, is communicate to your friends and family. Tell them, hey, this is a goal that I'm adhering to, and this is really important to me. And find substitutions and alternatives so that they can effectively understand why you're making some of the choices. Tell them, hey, can we not go to the fried chicken place? Could we go to the place that has teriyaki chicken and whatnot, and then not get sauce and whatever else? And just communicate those things so that people know that you're just trying to adhere to something and that you're gonna be doing some small behavior changes, but it's not gonna be forever. Just tell them as well that this is not gonna be for the long term. You're gonna have time at the end of it to do those fun things within reason, of course, and just know that at the end of the day, a lot of these experiences are not purely based on just like focusing on food the entire time. Be there for friends as well. Last thing is be patient. Just understand that it's a process. It's a lifestyle that even as someone who's sitting around animating keyframes all day, and there were times when like, you know what, I feel really hungry, or other days where I feel very full even though I should be dieting right now. This should be torturous. Just trust the process. Over 6 months, I've, in theory, lost 0.67 pounds a week, but that definitely wasn't linear. If you look at the graph, it's all over the place, but the average was going down, and that's the important part. Having a plan after is also really important. So understand what you're gonna do after the fact. So I was making sure that I was communicating with my coach, hey, what are we doing after this? Are we trying to gain? Are we trying to maintain? Right now, I'm now in a sort of gain-tain phase, gonna be training hard, focusing on bodybuilding, and my macros are a little bit higher now so I can maintain my weight and fill out a little bit, look a little bit fuller for the summer. But yeah, that's my plan. and I highly recommend having something after the fact as well, so then you can reap the benefits of all your hard work. Anyways, those were some of the quick tips on my experience losing 20 pounds over the last 6 months, and bear in mind that those are also the culmination of about 12 years of just like learning what works for me, what doesn't work for me, and I'm still learning. I'm still enjoying the process of understanding what can help me adhere to my lifestyle as an artist, as a creative, as a power lifter, as a bodybuilder, as someone who sits at a computer playing video games a lot of the time. I found things that work for me. I hope some of these things can help you, maybe work for you. And that's it. If you learned something, let me know in the comment section down below. If you have questions, comments, concerns, comments is down there for that as well. Or you can hit me up on Instagram at JohnJagsKnee. Or you can find me on Twitter at JohnJagsKnee as well. Is that all the plugs? I think that's all the plugs. And yeah, I will leave you with one final tip. As always, eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight and you'll make some jeans. Goodbye, my friends. Bye.